I'll
I
say it
think
like
it's
this.
even worse because we know that the recovery rates are like 99.6% or just
Yeah,
something 98%, something along
yeah,
them lines.
it's in
But
high 90s. It's in high 90s. I believe the government are neglecting their duty of care to the people of this country.
100.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like 100%. Like I
Yeah.
believe they're completely neglecting their duty of care in it. They have a duty of care to the people of the country to look after us and to make sure that we are safe in this country, because that's what we, not just what we expect, but this is what they say that we should expect. And unfortunately, they are doing none of that. They're being lax. They're being lazy. There's so many things they're doing wrong that I don't even think they can put it right anymore. I don't know if they can put it right anymore. People are not going to trust. They can't be trusted anymore.
Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to another show of Real Fake News with myself, Jago, and tonight I have...
you've got Renee. Hello, hi. Hope you're all good.
You already know what time it is. Man light, real talk. Let's go, fam.
Man like b.dot, yes.
Don't
Right,
know.
so this week we have been told lockdown is happening, guys. Thursday, luckily enough for us, the videos come out on Wednesday, so we're just in time for the lockdown. So you'll be seeing this one.
Nice.
Tomorrow will be lockdown, basically, guys. Yeah, and the whole country is gonna have to. Well, most of the country is gonna have to go on one of these lockdown tiers, and maybe even lockdown businesses. So where I am in London is quite peak at the moment. They're definitely looking to lock us down. I don't know how far it's going to go with where I work, but the restrictions are going to be mad. What are you saying, guys, about all of this?
They should have done this little. If they were going to lock down, they should have locked down a little while ago, innit?
Yeah, like we were saying in the last talk as well, they should have locked down 2 weeks when the kids were at school.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, even though I think schools and universities are still going to remain open anyway, but, you know, they should have done it at that point. And then a further 2 weeks, obviously.
I do think that it just shows lax again, and it shows laziness to me again. You know what I mean? It shows, we're not gonna do what most people say. We're just gonna do what we want. You know what I mean? And I don't think they realise how much this country's gonna collapse economically the more they start doing this stuff. You know what I mean? Because I truly believe that there's going to be another one.
Well, the problem is, right, is that at the beginning they locked down and they didn't think there was going to be locked down for as long as they was. Now they're saying they're going to be locked down for 4 weeks. What are they going to do in 4 weeks to keep it under control? And how are they going to be certain that whatever they do is going to be kept into control? So this is what,
and if it's not, it's more than likely going to be extended.
And they
said
they're already talking about it.
So
it's all numbers, isn't it? It's all numbers. So I was reading an article that was saying that the track and trace, 80% of the numbers, didn't get put in the system. So they said that 80% of people who caught it never got the message that they had it and had to quarantine.
That's mad. I swear that is crazy.
So basically, it's mad how they saying, here's the solution, guys. Wear a mask, take the track and trace, quarantine. But none of it really has proven effectively to work, from what I can see anyway. It seems like it's all just in the air at the moment.
I think the quarantining and stuff has worked to a degree. You know, with anything, of course, it's reduced some numbers because, you know, numbers have reduced when people have been on lockdown.
But how many? What numbers has been reduced? Because I don't think they're telling us the right ones.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't know if
so.
I don't know if they're telling us the right ones, innit? Like, I don't know if they're telling us the right ones. You know what I mean? They're just sprouting out numbers, hoping that we're going to be all right with it. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like they're just going, right, this number for this, this number for this, this number for this. And because they're throwing out numbers, you've got a lot of people that are going, all right, well, these are the numbers now. And they accept them numbers and they try and go on their routines or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Where you have got some people that are like, yeah, what are them numbers exactly like? And then that's when they start going, let me pass you on to this person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a bit crazy to be like that. Like,
and the thing with the quarantine,
they need to be more credible with their sources.
Yeah, and the thing with the quarantine, is, I mean, how regulated is that? I know if people need to make money, I'm sure they would hide the fact that they were positive and went to work and would go to work because they need that money.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people who should have quarantined.
The problem is the regulation. It isn't regulated correctly, is it? It's all up and down and very confusing.
And it's crazy that it's not regulated considering it's such a fatal or a dangerous situation to be in. I would have thought they would have had a lot more regulation on it and a lot more, I suppose, enforcers coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just along with all this like lockdown and quarantine thing, I mean, I don't know what it's, I've been like everywhere, but I know, what I've heard down here, like, in Manchester, is that, restaurants and pubs and things like that, like they've actually had police come in or CCTV cameras, like checking what's going on inside. And also saying that basically they don't want people just drinking all day. People need to be eating. Otherwise, it's like a big issue. So, a lot of places which I think maybe didn't provide food are now starting to provide food just so people can, drink.
That's
just to make sure they can keep their shop open to make money, like.
Yeah, they're just like, we don't want people drinking all day. But then, I don't know if you've also heard about, I think there was something on, maybe it was in The Sun, so how The Sun chats some rubbish, but about police maybe having the powers to come into homes to check numbers at Christmas.
No,
so
wait, man.
That would be another mad thing as well if that came into fruition.
Yeah, there'd be a lot. Again, like I've said on a couple of other things that they said they want to kind of try and do. I don't think the public would be down for that. Or Christmas, all of a sudden they're there chilling with the people that's allowed in their house. You know what I mean? Trying to have that special time, and all of a sudden there's sped knocking your door. Let me walk in your house and see how many people's in your house. Nah, fuck that. There's gonna be a lot of people that are not gonna have that. I'm telling you that now. No way. I don't. I think that's what. I think that would trigger something. That would trigger something.
Yeah.
So you reckon, Jay?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, realistically, they've kind of violated our rights already. But to come to our front door, to come and check on us, like we're kids and we need checking on, like a dad needs to come and check on us. Like, bruv, big man ain't gonna have that. You're gonna come to a big man's house, he ain't gonna have that, bruv. He's gonna be kicking you out the house, and then what? People gonna get arrested.
Single parents' house, a family home. Doesn't matter. Certain parents, certain people are not gonna like that. They're gonna have something to say, and some of these people, some of these police officers are not gonna care what people are gonna say, and it's gonna cause friction.
So Christmas is
that's what I think, though.
So Christmas is where things can go really bad, man, if they're not careful with what they're doing, I guess. Yeah,
definitely. Christmas is definitely a thin line between love and hate, mate. Like, trust me, there's going to be people that are like, because there are going to be some people on road that are going to be like, you know what? Maybe that's what we need to do that. You've got these people that are not caring what people are saying, and they're going to try and have these little parties here, there, and everywhere. Maybe we do need the police to knock doors on that. But the majority of people are going to be like, I beg a policeman try and knock my door during Christmas. Yeah. Watch what I say to them.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is it? Is it?
I think any police officers would be like just stupid to even, abide by that kind of rule anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only that, wouldn't they feel away knocking on someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would feel away. Well, obviously, there are some police officers that won't care. I truly believe there's police officers there that don't care. They go by the book, you know what I mean? Or again, they've got a bit of an attitude or a bit of a chip on their shoulder, and they don't care what people are saying, innit? They're doing a job, and if you don't like it, they're gonna smile at you and go, "I'm doing it anyway." You know what I mean? But I do believe there's gonna be a lot of police officers that are gonna be thinking the same way, normal, like what they would class normal people are thinking. You know what I mean? Which is like, no, you can't be knocking my door during Christmas. One of the times we actually get to chill and not everyone's indoors chilling with their families and having a good time and that. And you want to come and destroy that. You want to come and wreck that by knocking my doors and trying to make sure how many people's in my house. I think there's going to be, the majority is going to have something to say.
Yeah.
Again, I beg a policeman knock the door in it during Christmas. You will see a lot of people going, watch what I say to them.
Trust me.
You know what I mean?
So, back to numbers quickly, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always outside of this mentality for some reason, but first of all, obviously, I just think that it's a influenza that's causing this thing, and we know it's the flu season. I don't understand.
It is flu season.
That staying indoors when we know that we need to be out anyway to be able to get air, like certain things I just don't understand that they're putting into place, especially around Christmas time when it gets really cold. So if old people on their own in a house and they can't afford electric, what then? What about all these other families who can't afford electric over Christmas time and they're getting quarantined? They can't go and spend time at other people's houses. It's crazy, bruv. I just think like this whole hype is based on just say so, innit? Like they say this is what it is, so then we have to live by the restrictions without really even having a look into the real dangers that's actually happening from this. I would call it myself, obviously it's on me, innit? Like this fake placebo of a hype hysteria on something which is we've encountered in our ecosystems over the last 100 years and got through it without issues, innit? I just see that this situation, the numbers are going to build up real quick, and they're going to try as hard as they can to enforce as much restrictions. I again, like Renee says, I don't think it's going to last until 2nd December. I reckon this thing will go on until February more time. I reckon they're going to do a 3-month lockdown. I don't think a 1-month lockdown will be enough for them to be able to enforce.
It won't be. It won't
enforce and then prove that it works.
No way.
Because their main thing is to prove, innit? Like, we tell you to do something, yeah, and people are like, oh no, I'm not too sure. And then a week later, 2 weeks later, oh, here's the proof of what we said to do. It's helping. And then people are like, okay, now it makes more sense. So that's what they're going to look to. So it's never going to be 4 weeks. Never, ever going to be 4 weeks. It's going to be more than 4 weeks, 100%.
I thought it was going to be at least 8
what
weeks.
The issue is? So what the issue is, like, I agree with everything that you're saying, but one of the main things that we've got to take into consideration is that this virus needs a vaccine, which we don't have. So until we've got that vaccine, this is where the threat is. The threat is that we don't know what's going to happen, how it...
Ren. Oh no. Ren. We got to rewind. Rewind, select up.
And then
rewind. Screen frozen.
She looks like she's doing duck lips.
Oh, stop it.
Well, what happens? But what's happening?
You're frozen.
The screen's frozen.
Look like you're pouting.
Looks like you're taking a selfie on camera.
Was that me?
There we go. Yeah, you froze completely. Oh. It literally looked like you was taking a selfie on camera.
So carry on, what you're saying.
But yeah, no, go on, carry on what you're saying.
Ren.
Have you frozen?
She's doing it to us. Yeah, that's quite good.
You're doing it to us, innit?
That's good. That's good. That's good. That was good. That was actually really good.
No.
That was sick. That was sick.
That was so sick.
The first time.
No, the first time was frozen. Yeah.
Well, that was actually quite sick.
I just noticed you just stopped, like.
Yeah, I know. So did I.
I'm gonna stop. I better stop. Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
I have to give you 10 out of 10 for that one. I honestly have to. It was actually really good.
Because I thought you froze again. I thought it froze again.
So anyway,
did you hear what I said?
No, rewind.
We started hearing it, and it went as you went frozen. It's like your voice started glitching. So.
Oh no. Okay. So the basis of what I was saying was that what the threat is and why there's all this confusion, or the unknown, is that we need a vaccine, and without the vaccine we're not going to get over the virus. So I think that's what the major threat is, and the whole confusion and the not knowing whether things are going to escalate or de-escalate.
Yeah.
So that was just the whole thing in it, because I don't know if you guys know, so the chair of the UK task force has basically said, the first vaccine that we get is probably going to be unlikely to be at work or prevent the infection. And obviously it's going to affect people.
We kind of knew that. I believe people kind of knew that already. Like, no way you're going to make a vaccine and that vaccine's going to be first time, bang on, let's roll it out, let's save some people. It's not going to be that. It takes time. As we already know, it usually takes between 5+ years to make a proper vaccine for something. You know what I mean? There is a company, I can't remember the name of the company, but there's a company right now that is trying to work on a one size fits all sort of vaccine. So the vaccine is for all viruses. All types of viruses that they knows about, and we and humans can't even caught yet, but it will be part of that vaccine. They've been dealing with that vaccine for over 10 years, and it ain't ready yet. So what makes people think that they're gonna roll one out and it's gonna be ready by next year, like they say? It's not. No way.
It's not. But this is the thing: is that there's a couple of things that they're saying. So that they're saying that the only true exit from this pandemic is to have a vaccine. And another thing that they're saying is that they don't even know if we'll ever have a vaccine anyway. And then to top that off, they're saying that the UK are only buying enough vaccine to protect the most vulnerable. So less than half of the population will get it. So,
they're not even going to get vaccine. So there's going to be go on.
Less than half the population would get the vaccine anyway. So this means that the vaccination would still spread and would still have to enforce social distancing. So.
Yeah, it's confusing, man. Yeah, it will work. Actually, we don't know if it will work. Yeah, it will. No, actually, it won't. Only some of you's going to get it. No, the country's going to get vaccinated. Only some of you. They don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. Like, they're clueless, mate. They're like sheep running around in a field. They're just running around trying to eat grass, mate.
What I understand is that there's viruses that's come out from 10, 15, 20 years ago that still live in our ecosystems.
Yeah.
Why
100%.
Why is it the fact that, number one, we want the coronavirus to die? It's a virus. It lives in the ecosystem. It's something that's going to be like the rest of the viruses, like H1N1, like swine flu, like AIDS. It's going to live in the ecosystem regardless, innit? I don't see they're making vaccines for any of them things there, or they're hyping up them things like, make sure you don't go near
H1N1 swine flu, right?
Yeah. But
H1N1 swine flu, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so swine flu,
isn't it bird flu? Isn't it bird flu?
Is it bird flu? So H1N1 swine flu, right? One thing I do know is they didn't actually. They tried to make a vaccine for it, but a vaccine was not made for swine flu. They treated swine flu with a tablet called Tamiflu.
Wow.
And that technically what they classed as wiped out swine flu. That's what kind of Tamiflu ended swine flu. You know what I mean? And that's a tablet. I know that. I took it. You know what? I know that. That's what I took for it for me to get rid of swine flu. You know what I mean? So it's like, so I know that.
From somebody, there was this woman speaking, and basically there's a drug which will help. but we're not getting it, we're not buying it, or they're telling people not to use it. And if they do use it, basically they'll lose their license or they'll go to jail. And it
what's the
begins with
name?
it's one of the Hydra something drugs. And yeah, this woman was basically saying that we know that it works, but we've been told, because I think they mixed it up with another drug, like the naming of it, they've been told that the drug that does work, that they can't use it. And if they are caught using it in practice,
So do you
that they'll
reckon?
get jailed.
I've heard this.
So do you reckon
well.
that's what they're mixing with hydroxychloroquine? Is that? Do you reckon they mixed?
I think,
do
yeah,
you reckon that
that's
could be
it. That's the one.
what they
That's
might be bringing out instead of hydroxychloroquine?
Yeah, that's what they're mixing it up with. Yeah.
Something along the lines, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I heard that as well, Renee. And she was saying that it's basically the most effective thing that they can use right now, but they're not allowed to use it at all. Yeah, because like you said, they're going to take away their licenses and stuff. Yeah, it's
so
mad.
That, and basically that is why right now we're using remdesivir instead of this other drug.
Most likely so, yeah.
Wasn't remdesivir...
I'm just trying to make sense of my head, that's all. I'm just trying to make sure that I got it right, that's all.
Wasn't remdesivir that solution that had a bottle that said not distributed in the UK, in the US or EU?
Possibly.
Yeah, I think it. I don't know, because I know that remdesivir was in a tablet form as well. So unless they've made it a liquid form and a tablet form, I do know remdesivir. I swear I could be wrong, but I swear remdesivir was a tablet. You know what I mean? And when obviously once people started taking that, within a day you could see the results of them getting better.
So another quick question: if someone in the UK takes a vaccine that's been sent over, now does that mean they're absolutely immune to coronavirus afterwards?
No, so this is what they're saying. They don't know the effect of it, and they don't know how long it will last in the system or protect the person.
It might not even, the vaccine might not even work at all. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I don't know how Mr. Orange over in America can go around saying he's immune and he wants to kiss everyone, because my man's not immune. Like, he's not immune, innit? Like, I don't believe anyone's immune.
So you're saying that it's better to inject yourself with cornflakes with cold milk and a lot of sugar?
At the moment, yeah. At the present moment, yeah, mate. It might, you know what I mean? Just don't use Clorox bleach either. Don't be injecting yourself with bleach and disinfecting people. Don't be doing that, people. I beg you.
Oh, mate.
It's not about them thing there.
What? So another thing. So another thing that really annoys me is this misinformation. And misinformation is all over the place, all the time. And it's like, doesn't even give you time to think for yourself, like, to like do what you're doing. You're always in your head thinking about, oh, this is gonna happen, I've got to do this, or how I got. It's crazy, fam. It's like psychological operations right now, bro.
Yeah, of course. They want people to. I believe they're trying to get a lot more people to conform to what they want, right? You know, like, which it reminds me a little bit of a film that I've watched before, innit? I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called They Live. It's an 80s film. Yeah, the lead actor in it is actually the WWE wrestler, Rowdy Roddy Piper. Yeah, like, so he was walking around and one day he finds a pair of glasses, right? Like, he puts on these glasses, and let me rephrase that. Before he puts on the glasses, he's looking around the world and that, and you can see all the billboards and all these pictures, and you know what I mean, and all the lights and stuff. You know, like if you see in West End, where you got all you got the light boards, and you got all the different things there. When he puts the glasses on, it says obey, conform, like all these. And when you look at people, it's all skeletons and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's a bit weird. It's like these glasses are basically like government glasses. You're not really allowed to have them, and he's just found them. You know what I mean? Like, and it seems a little bit like that, innit? Like, they're trying to, as I said, they're trying to butter. Like you said these words before. They're trying to butter us up with numbers and words and stuff. You know what I mean? But in another sense, like, really and truly, all they want you to do is conform, innit? They're just trying to hide that from you. You know, like, so it just seems to me a little bit like it's, how can I put it? It's fucking scary, mate. Like, it's just fucking scary. You know what I mean? The way they're going on, to be honest. It's just mad scary. I can't fathom it, to be honest. I just can't. It's a madness. You know what I mean? You can't tell us one thing and then tell us another thing, and before we can comprehend what you're trying to tell us, you're already throwing more information and more information and more information. It's scary because we're getting so much. You technically can panic with all that information.
Yeah.
You start to panic. You start to go, what's true? What ain't? Should I listen to that person? Should I listen to this? Should I listen to that? Yeah, it's mad, bro. It's mad. I just think that either find someone that you know people are going to listen to, you know what I mean, and tell them what the real is so they can tell us, or just do what you're supposed to do, and then when it's right, tell us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you've got it correct and you know it's correct, tell us. Don't just sprat stuff at us, because some of us are going to take it, some of us won't. You know what I mean? But the more you sprat, the more you're going to put people in a panic.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The more people are going to be put in a panic. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just bad. It just reminds what they're trying to do without the glasses themselves. It just reminds me of that film. They're just trying to make us conform to stuff which they're hiding from us, innit? And then they'll throw it out in a law which won't go away. You know what I mean? As you said before, a law will come out or some legislation or something will come out, and then they'll say, all right, this is for while this is happening. But yet, when that stops happening, they've moved on to something else, that law stays where it is. It ain't gone nowhere.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Just tell us what's going on for real, when it's going to happen. Like, don't just, we're thinking of, by the time you thought of what they're going to say, they've already done it.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? It's scary, bruv. Like, I'm sorry, it's scary, innit? The way they're getting on is actually quite scary. Like, I think a lot of people will be shocked. You know what I mean? Because they don't know what to believe. Mad, bro. Just tell us the real. Give someone the voice to tell us what the real is.
That's all we ask for, man. That's all we ask for.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Lockdown. I can't remember, mate.
How long do you truly believe that if it is extended, how long is it going to be extended for? Do you think it's going to be a 3-month lockdown? Do you think it could be longer than a 3-month lockdown? Do you think it's only going to be 8 weeks, like a 2-month lockdown? Like, what do you believe?
Well,
like, what do you reckon?
I mean, in New Zealand, they locked down for 2 weeks completely, and they've gone back to normal way of life. The same with Australia. So I don't see the logic in them locking down for more than 4 weeks. But if they're doing it to implement stuff, then yeah, I reckon at least 2 to 3 months. 3 months, I would say. 3 months, I would say.
Yeah, but it's going to take this time because these bloody people are not doing. You can't even call this a lockdown because it's not a proper lockdown. A proper lockdown would be nobody coming in and out, nobody traveling the streets to go to whatever you want to call essential work, except for hospitals and stuff like that. But anything else, it would just be locked down. Everything would be fully locked down.
It would be dead.
People are still coming in and out of the country. So it's just.
So if the government locked down, if government done a proper lockdown, basically, we're saying we don't need all that time indoors.
Well, it depends what they're doing to eradicate it during that time.
Yeah.
It's not just about people staying indoors. It's like, maybe we should be, I don't know, I don't have the answers, but testing more people could be a good start properly.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I was saying for Australia and New Zealand, they're back to normal life. They're not going into no more lockdowns. They're cool, innit? Like, they're not got no more deaths or anything.
They're filling out stadiums. They're filling out stadiums, no more social distancing.
Yeah, they never went deep as China. China went deep. They started spraying down streets. But these lot in Australia didn't do that. They just locked down.
The thing with China, though, is I think that we all have a grasp that, or have some sort of notion that the virus was basically already around the world before they actually told people and started shutting down Wuhan and China.
Yeah, but they still had bad deaths.
So I believe they weren't just lax. They were ignorant to their situation.
Oh yeah, definitely. But they had bad deaths as well.
I think they were just ignorant to their situation.
And remember,
say that again.
They had bad deaths as well, I think, in China. But again, their whole society and system is so like inwards, isn't it? Like they don't get to see.
Always, do they not still live like a communist country?
Yeah.
Ain't they? So. I swear, like parts of China are still kind of communist.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I mean? Because remember, I swear China was a very big communist country at one point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were still, and to me, they were at certain points they were still going on like they were under communist rule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the way they want to do things, and none of the Western world you can have it over here, and you can't have the Western world's internet. You got to have our internet and shit like that. You know what I mean? And yeah, from what I'm told, it's still like that now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's from what I've heard as well, or from what I've seen. Sorry. But it's all up in the air, man. And like you're saying, b.dot, it's very, very scary times, isn't it? We don't really know what's coming next. Yeah, so going back quickly to that, I'm just very confused and disheartened just by the whole movement, and that's why I'm so anti. I don't want to even like give them a chance, because I just feel like they've gone so far in, and this influenza, we've seen the stats of deaths. We've seen in our daily lives, like, I mean, I work in a retail shop where at least 1,000 people come through my shop every day, man, and none of my workers have gone off ill. None of them have gone off on a thing of corona. It just feels like this thing doesn't really exist as a threat to human life. Okay, I do understand there are vulnerable people that will catch it and that will suffer badly for it, but as a whole, just like with any other virus or bacteria, certain people will catch it and suffer really badly with it, but the whole world doesn't go on flip mode squad of, oh, we got to do this, we got to live by this behavior. If you don't do that, there's penalty fees. We can come into your house and start doing this, and it just feels to me so tyrannical. Like it's not. I can't explain it as such. If you know what I mean.
Some totalitarian shit, boy. Some totalitarian shit. I swear.
It's crazy to my eyeballs, man.
Like, I'll say
I think it's even worse because we know that the recovery rates are like 99.6% or just something 98%, something along those lines.
It's in high 90s. It's in high 90s. It's crazy, man. Like, here's the thing that kind of bugs me in it and scares me as well. Like, I'm going to use a term that some people will use in the workplace, innit? Like, I believe the government are neglecting their duty of care to the people of this country.
100.
You get what I'm saying? Like, 100%. Like, I believe they're completely neglecting their duty of care, innit? They have a duty of care to the people of the country to look after us and to make sure that we are safe in this country, because that's not just what we expect, but this is what they say that we should expect. And unfortunately, they are doing none of that. They're being lax, they're being lazy, there's so many things they're doing wrong that I don't even think they can put it right anymore. I don't know if they can put it right anymore. People are not going to trust, they can't be trusted anymore. Like, again, voice box. I think he's becoming a voice box for his cabinet.
Yeah.
As much as we know that he is the guy with the last say, I truly believe he is being highly influenced by certain members of his cabinet.
Yeah, definitely.
Although you're saying that, he couldn't really make all the decisions by himself anyway.
No.
He would have to consolidate with a group of people.
Yeah. Like, and that's hence why when they say, he's going into meetings and stuff, that's who he's meeting with. He's meeting with his cabinet, isn't he? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's going to meet with anyone else to try and make decisions on the country. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I truly believe, I do believe that you're right in he can't make the decisions himself, but I believe the decisions he wants to make are being influenced by certain members of his cabinet, whether that be in meetings or when he's sitting in his chambers or whatever you want to call it, his offices or his study, and he's with a couple of them or one of them, you know what I mean? And they're going, maybe you should do this, maybe we should do this, you know what I mean? And he'll use we all the time, you know what I mean? Like he's French, but instead he's English and he just wants him to make that decision. Like, you know what I mean? So,
You gotta hear that. So they've all got to take accountability at the end of the day, ain't they?
Yeah, they all have. Like, unfortunately for Boris, though, he's the prime minister. It's just like in football.
He's the face.
Yeah, when you get in football and you got a team that's not playing very well, 9 times out of 10, who gets sacked? The manager.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who gets all the flack? The manager. You know what I mean? And so if you take it, his cabinet's like his little football team. You know what I mean? No one's performing well right now, and everyone's getting at the manager, who is the prime minister.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So, like, again, he's a voice box for them, but at the end of the day, he's the scapegoat as well as the voice box. You know what I mean? So, he's got to remember that. I don't think he's realizing that at the moment. I think he's just still basking in the glory of being PM.
So how long is it that he's PM for? Anyway.
So it's so to be, when you're PM for 5 years, and then after 5 years you go into a general election with obviously the other parties. But we all know it's a 2-horse race between Conservative and Labour.
So how long has he been PM for now? How long has he got left?
He took over from Theresa May in it, so he's been PM. How long has he been PM for now? Got me nearing 18 months now, innit?
I don't even know.
Not even 2 years yet. Flipping heck.
I don't even think it's been 2 years.
This guy. Oh my gosh.
I don't even know if it's been 2 years.
So,
I'll find. Actually, like, as you're talking, I'll find out. So you carry on doing. I'll find out how long he's been prime minister for.
So the cabinet and the prime minister. So what's the parliament in relation to all of that then? Well, the parliament passes laws that the cabinet and prime minister creates. Is that what parliament is?
Do you see, like, with parliament, I think parliament's more of just like I see it as like a massive debating hall, really. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, regardless of what parliament is saying, because remember, parliament is with all parties.
Yeah.
All the parties are there, backbenchers, because some of them backbenchers, some of them like are obviously front benchers and that. You know what I mean? You know, like, so I think that involves like virtually all the parties. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the people that get to make the decisions are the Conservatives, because they're the ones in power at the time.
2019, July 2019.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we got another
July 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, about coming up 18 months, right? Or around 18 months now, right?
Yeah, something like that. I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, around 18 months, yeah.
Wow, so
crackers, not even 2 years yet.
Man,
he's already fucked up the country like this. Jesus.
I know, but it's a big problem, fam. It's a massive problem.
Oh, mate. What up for the next 3.5 years?
Well, I don't
what up for the next 3.5 years?
I don't even want to think about it, bro.
Here's the thing, yeah. I'll say it like this quickly, yeah. Just on a quick note, I'm just talking quick thinking, yeah. This is like, what do you reckon, yeah? Do you think the country would be in a better position if I remember correctly, the person that was going up against him and come second in voting is Jeremy Hunt, yeah? Do you reckon the country would be in a better place with Jeremy Hunt in power?
How can you tell? You can't tell until they're in power, because a lot of people talk a lot of rubbish to get into power and then change their whole course of their, initial plan.
To me, that dude's soft as fuck. I think he's soft. I think everyone would have told him what to do, and he would have went, okay. Like, so I reckon we would have been in the same position now as even with Boris. Either one of them, we'd still be in the same position.
I think with a surname like that, mate, he's definitely getting himself in trouble, isn't he?
Jeremy Hunt, mate.
they're going to be making them songs about him, aren't they? Them whole songs.
No, levels.
But if you guys heard,
I reckon
the news, Sadiq Khan basically is warning. Basically, Londoners are being warned about the council tax rising due to the TfL apparently have secured a 1.8 billion bailout, and our council tax bills could rise because of the draconian conditions attached to it.
Oh, what? Fuck. Oh, that's peak. I didn't even know that.
This is what you've been saying, b.dot, mate. This is what you've been saying, fam. This is exactly what you've been saying. Taxes up, mate.
Yeah, like
Recoup.
here's the thing. Yeah, this is what like. Not that I forgot about that, but this is definitely something we've got to worry about as well. Because there's going to be massive companies looking for bailouts, and the more companies that get a bailout, the more it's going to get taken out on us.
So, can you just break down to me what a bailout is? Guy, like, even know, mate.
So, if I remember, like a bailout. Go on.
No, I was just saying that basically they had to do this, otherwise they would have had to have what's the word?
Bankrupt.
Wait, let me see if I can find it.
Liquidate.
Well, yeah, I guess maybe not so much.
Liquidate.
Was it insolvent or I don't know.
That sounds like liquidation.
Oh, I can't find it now. Well, maybe so. Yeah.
Dissolve. What? Dissolving. What? They would have had to dissolve something.
I think so. Something along those lines.
Raw. That's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
insolvent.
mad.
So basically, the latest round of negotiations were aimed at preventing TfL from being forced to file a Section 114 notice, a process which effectively declare it insolvent and lead to services being severely curtailed.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, which means they technically might have had to sell it back to the Chinese or something. They would have had to sell that. They would have had to make it go private. Yeah, because remember, the Chinese owned the underground at one point. I don't think they do anymore, but the Chinese own the underground, and and then not long after that, the Americans bought Wembley. So yeah, the Americans actually own Wembley.
Wow.
It's actually American-owned Wembley Stadium. You know what I mean? And the Chinese own London Transport.
Mad thing.
Yeah, man, serious. But yeah, with the bailout stuff, it's just like, obviously, if a company is losing money rapidly, you know what I mean? They're losing rapid money, and then obviously something like this comes up, they're going to start bleeding money. Not just losing it, but they're going to start bleeding it, right? That's when you go to the government and you ask the government for help, yeah, and they give you what they would class as a government handout, where really, like, you're bailing out that company, so it's a bailout.
Oh, okay. And then what if
you're
the government...
stopping that company from going under?
So what happens if the government don't want to bail you out? Is that possible?
Well, then you don't get bailed out, innit?
But does that happen?
You better find the money somewhere else. I don't know if it's ever happened. I don't know.
No, I said you don't know if it happened.
I don't know if you've ever said no to anyone.
Okay.
Say that again?
Okay, no, that's cool. Okay, cool. So, does it apply to all businesses or there's certain businesses?
What?
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they? They have said no to someone. The government did say no to someone for a bailout.
Who?
They said no to Virgin.
How come?
Richard Branson asked for a bailout, asked for a government handout, and he got told no.
Well,
but did he get it in the end?
No. He didn't get it. Hence why he was all pissed off. Hence why he was all throwing hissy fits for a while.
So does that apply?
Yeah, he didn't get it.
That applies to all businesses of all sizes.
I'm thinking so. I don't know what the criteria is to actually ask for a government. I don't know the criteria.
Okay.
But I just know some massive companies have asked for bailouts and the government handouts.
And so when the government do that, that means
and the banks got bailed out, innit? And the banks got bailed out. Remember when the banks really went under? I swear when Northern Rock and that went under. You know what I mean? Like they obviously all the banks got a government handout as well. So they got bailed out as well.
So a business getting bailed out by the government, why does that affect us at the bottom here?
Because then they've got, obviously the government's given money to a business, which means the government's got to get that money back. And it might take time to get that money back, and they need to recoup it quickly. So to recoup it quickly, our taxes go up.
Yeah, but you've got to understand why these businesses are asking for the bailout in the first place. For example, TfL, there's a number of people using it. So if they're being bailed out and people are still not using the services as much as there was before,
they're still losing money.
Somewhere else,
Bloody TfL charged me what, £15 a day so I can travel around London, and they need a bailout. These guys are daylight robbery, mate. Mad thing,
true.
Just
last thing we'll quickly look at, from what we've just been talking about is the future of the UK economy. So obviously these things are happening now. We've had obviously a massive unemployment going up. We're going into a second lockdown, furlough, so businesses are all going to be affected again, same with the economy.
Yeah. Which means more businesses will close, more people are going to lose their jobs.
People losing their jobs, not having money now, yeah? What are we going to be looking like next year for the economy? I mean, is it really going to... What's going to happen, man? Are we going to have to sell out to another country now?
Or,
the way that I see it is that we all, you know, within so many years, we always come into a point of, you know, like I said, some kind of a point like this. And at the moment, we're at a low point, and then something's going to happen and turn around, and then there's going to be a boom in jobs, and everybody's going to be able to get a job. But at the moment, we're at a point where people can potentially lose or are losing their jobs.
Yeah.
So,
I just
done. That can't be.
I was just gonna say, yeah, like my view on that sort of thing is, the only thing I've got to say on it really is, if the government's not careful, I don't know if we'll have an economy to come back to, mate. It will collapse.
Yeah,
and like I think that they're slightly not forgetting about it, but it's being pushed to, the economy's being pushed to one side. You know what I mean? Like they don't think, and the thing about it is, maybe they should bring it closer to them a little bit. You know what I mean? And maybe have a talk around that, because I let you know now, the economy's going to be fucked. Even with this 4-week lockdown, it's going to fuck up the economy.
Of course it is.
You know what I mean? We're still trying to get back from the 3-month one.
It's true, but as dumb as the government have been, and how confusing they are, I think to a degree they must have some kind of a plan in action, or they must know something that we don't, to be able to do that.
Yeah, but my doubts with them are, they very could well have a plan. They more than likely have got a plan. As we've seen already, are they going to execute that plan properly?
Well,
you know what I mean? That's what I'm worried about. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. They might have plans in place, but are they going to execute them properly? Are they going to be able to do the things that's supposed to be done to make sure the country's better? I don't know if they can. Like, because someone's always there to fuck shit up. You know what I mean? Someone always either says the wrong thing, you know what I mean? And that wrong thing leads, it's like a butterfly effect with the government. Someone says the wrong thing and it's like a flap of a butterfly's wing, and all of a sudden a hurricane happens. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm just hoping, that they can execute their plans properly, so it actually helps the country and can actually fulfill their promises, which I don't think they're going to be able to do. But let's hope so, innit? Because they're the people that, unfortunately, we've got to depend on as a government.
And obviously, like the small businesses, I don't know how they're going to get through all of this, because a lot of people are going to be at home and they're going to go into that mode again of online shopping. It's going to be an online mode as well. A lot of these small businesses don't have online shopping. And then
all these big supermarkets will have online. A lot of them might not have online. If they ain't got that, I think a lot of small businesses are going to try to jump on this online thing right now. If they don't do it now, it might be a little bit big for them during the lockdown.
Not only that, the council tax and all the rest of it, ground rent will probably go up.
It's just
food
rising.
Costs are going to go up. Will they even be able to afford to run a small business
what about
anymore?
Premises leases are going to be through the roof, I reckon.
Yeah.
So all these small businesses that are leasing their properties, you know what I mean? They're going to have to, the people that they're leasing it from are going to up their prices. Going to need to, because they're going to see it as they're losing money too. Everyone's losing money.
I wonder how much of the economy is run by small businesses. Probably
no, but I'm sure it's a quite healthy percentage.
Yeah,
there is a lot of small businesses in the country. You know what I mean? So I'm sure it is a certain percentage, but I reckon that percentage will be lower by the time lockdown's finished.
Oh, definitely. If it goes into a 3-month one, then boy, like Christmas,
look what happened
New
during
Year's,
the 3-month one.
Like
look how
Christmas,
many people lost their jobs. You know what I mean? Not just over here. Look at America. America, there was like, what, 22 million or something like that?
Yeah.
Unemployed at one point? That's crackers. And we had millions ourselves over here. You know what I mean? So, and the more lockdowns that happen, the more people lose their jobs, the rise in unemployment. The numbers are only going to get bigger. And they're numbers that we do know and see. You know what I mean? And that's what we're looking. The thing about it is they're throwing us numbers, but there's certain numbers, we're not really looking at those anymore. We're looking at numbers we can actually see, which is the unemployment numbers, because we know people that are unemployed. You know what I mean? And all these other certain numbers that are out there, because we know people that are in them numbers, and that's bucking people. I'm gonna explain. I did say I was gonna say this from last week. I did try to do some digging. I did try and check for anything relating to COVID Anonymous, like you asked. Yeah. And I couldn't find anything. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to try and throw and say something, I found this or I found this. Most of the stuff I found was regarding cashless world, being chipped and stuff like that, but nothing actually on the virus itself, like you were saying. So yeah, mate, like they ain't really saying much regarding that.
So the other stuff they were saying, like the cashless society and the RFID chip, they must have like entangled that with the COVID, surely.
Oh yeah, they have entangled that with the COVID, but that's something that we've heard from the get-go, really.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Within the first couple weeks of coronavirus being around, them sort of conspiracies were, or them sort of theories, or whatever you want to call them, were being batted around anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we had people like Bill Gates and stuff like saying what they're saying. You had other people of influence like saying what they're saying. But we know a couple of these people are shady. You know what I mean? And we also know about the Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation. We all know about these certain little things that are a bit shady. You know what I mean? So obviously we're not going to take everything. We're going to take some of what they're saying with a pinch of salt. We're going to listen to some of it because they're letting us know something without letting us know. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that. So you're talking about obviously small businesses and taxes and all that, and it's funny because this part of the year, which is Christmas, is the most spent part of the year where people spend the most amount of cash in shops.
Most money,
now, if your business is shut,
times of the year, if not arguably the busiest.
Yeah, I mean, if your business shuts over Christmas, man, that might throw your numbers off completely and your plans off for the year after.
No, that and Black Friday as well.
And Black Friday.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, Black Friday is this
My
month.
gosh, that's mad.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna really hit businesses so bad, man. It's just crazy how they've seen it. They haven't seen that, or they've seen it and they haven't cared about it.
Just sorry to cut you off and sorry to, but I'm going to be sending you something through to your phone, whether that be now or in a moment or something, I don't know. But I said I've done some digging and I couldn't find nothing, but I have found an article here and it has got something to do with COVID-19 and Anonymous. So I'm going to be sending that through to you at some point.
Yeah. Cool. What is the time? That time. Okay, we should wrap it up then, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
People them, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
All day, every day. Yes. Come on, people.
Come on, man. You know what? And not only that, put your views in the comments. We always like to know what you're saying, innit? We always like to know what your views are and your opinions are. Remember, this is not just for us, it's for you lot too.
Yes.
So please, say what you're saying. We're all ears.
And that's it. And big up yourselves all the time, people. Jeez. Big up yourselves, everyone. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Press this button here right now. Jeez.
Yo, press this big red button.
Press this button. Here.
Yeah, button. Button. Red one.